In the very first round of the World Cup in Goa that just started today, the young Turkish prodigy, 14-year-old grandmaster, Erdogmus, played the French defense, and his opponent chose the calm exchange variation. But the thing is that the game didn't stay calm for long, and yeah, it was a very nice miniature. And this video is devoted to all of you that refrain from playing the French defense because there is an exchange variation. Yeah, think about it. Erdogmus played this line being at 2600. By the way, he recently set a nice record being the youngest player to ever enter the 100 best players in the world. He's only 14-year-old. And well, but his opponent is at 1900. And he, even when he know that his opponent may play the exchange variation, went for the French defense. So it's a big lesson, and yeah, let's enjoy the game together. I invite you to analyze this game together. So let's get into it. So the game started with e4, e6, the French defense, d4, d5, and e takes d5, e takes d5. This is the exchange variation. The pawn structure becomes symmetrical, and a lot of pieces can be traded easily in natural ways. So a lot of people prefer not to play the French defense altogether because they say, no, my opponent can, take me to a drawish position, and I don't want to play this kind of position. But look at this. Bishop d3, this is the classical way to play it. Then knight c6, immediately attacking c3 and preparing knight b4. So white played c3 and bishop d6. We are trying to get a very nice setup, knight g7, bishop f5 or bishop g4, queen d7, and we can castle in the queen side. So this already spices up the thing. Erdogmus' opponent choose a very, well, dry move, h3, rather than knight e2, that is more common. They want to answer knight g7 with queen c2, avoiding bishop f5, and after knight g7, preparing bishop f5, trading this bishop is something really important in the exchange variation. Queen f3. An idea that I discovered analyzing Alekhine games long ago, Erdogmus castle and knight e2. Everything seems to be very simple. Now he's preparing bishop f4, and everything seems to be according to plan, but knight g6 came, and this is a very interesting move. The knight gets activated, trying to get to h4, but the pawn on d5 is undefended. What is happening to this pawn? What is the idea? White didn't accept the challenge. He played h4. Yeah, he gets the h pawn into the mix, what seems to be a really optimistic move. But yeah, let's see what happened in the case of queen takes d5. The queen is undefended, but there are no ways to get to the king. So what would you play as black here? Yeah, actually there is a very nice move that is the reason why white didn't want to capture this pawn. And the move I'm talking about, if you haven't seen it, I highly encourage you to stop the video and look for the move. Okay, the move is knight b4. Yeah, very nice move, attacking not only the queen but the bishop. And the idea is c takes b4, bishop takes b4, check, attacking the king and the queen. And of course knight c3 is not good enough because queen takes d5 and the knight is pinned, so we win the queen. So this is a very nice trick. And in the case of the queen going away, I guess queen c4 is not very good because of bishop e6. So something similar may happen with queen e4, rook e8, seems really strong, and even queen f3, knight h4. And yeah, white's position is really highly compromised. So understandably, he refrained from capturing, choosing a very controversial move, to say the least. He played h4. I guess that playing something like queen h5 may have been more sensible, and this way the knight is not able to move any longer. So queen h5, and intending to meet something like knight c7, probably trying to play c5, castle, simply with castle, and against bishop e6, bishop f4, and white seems to be doing okay. So yeah, queen h5 should have been a nice move. Castle wasn't so beautiful because of knight h4, queen h5, and g6, and we are harassing white's queen, and this is really entertaining for us. Of course, queen g5, bishop e7, we are not trading queens, we are making white's life difficult by harassing their queen. So against knight g6, h4 was played, and this was pretty optimistic. Rook e8 came, and now, of course the pawn cannot be taken. This is obvious. Queen h5, and there is a huge pressure over h7 with the queen, the rook. This could have been a disaster, but rook e8 is very simple. He's just pinning the knights. The situation of white's king is a little bit alarming. So g3 came, and well, this is already something that allow a combination, and here's black to play and get an advantage, really a decisive advantage. What would you play as black? We're enjoying the situation of white's exposed king, and also the queen can get to be an exposed piece. So how to continue? What would you play? So the game continued with knight c5, a fantastic piece sacrifice. I guess that knight ge5 is pretty similar, but knight c5 attacking the queen and the bishop, and after d takes e5, knight takes e5 keeps the attack of both pieces, and it's pretty hard for white to at the same time defend d3 and keep their king and their queen that is in big danger. This queen is attacked and can be attacked by several pieces, by several of black's pieces. So white is facing a very, very difficult challenge. Queen takes d5 seems the only move to keep defending the bishop, but this one exposes the queen, and bishop e6 was played, and it's really difficult to keep defending the bishop as queen d4 falls into knight f3, and this is a beautiful fork, winning the queen. Also, queen b5 allows a6 or c6, so this is pretty similar, and it's really difficult to keep defending the bishop. So the only move might be queen e4. Now f5, he continues attacking white's queen, queen e3, and now at least this time bishop c5 runs into queen takes e5, but there are several good moves anyhow, and he played bishop d5, creating the threat of bishop takes h1 and knight f3. So white's situation is becoming really difficult, and we're just in move 14, and white is already lost. Let's see how the game continues. So he played king f1. He kept playing. He could have resigned, of course, and now there are several ways to win, but the game continued with the simple bishop takes h1, and now black is up on exchange, and the pressure is still there. So bishop takes f5, at least he wants to grab some material, and runs into bishop c5, attacking the queen. The bishop is undefended, but there's an idea to it. Even he didn't want to capture, and the game ended right now with queen d1, checkmate. So a beautiful example of how, the exchange variation is solid. The character of the game might be boring for you usually, but sometimes it's in us, not in the position. If you are able to bring some interesting ideas into the game, then you can transform the position. And if the position gets technical, then we have to grow in this part of our game, being able to play with confidence a long game with equality for a long while. but sometimes that's not necessary. We are able to create imbalances, and well, as you've seen, this guy wasn't afraid of the possibility of his opponent playing for a draw. He was confident that he could turn the table somehow, and that ended up happening. So I hope you enjoyed the game, and okay, play the French. Tell me what is your experience with the exchange variation. If you face it very often, what's your score? Yeah, at the end, it's all about the scores. Probably you win 70% of the games, 30% remaining is a draw. That's okay for everyone. You gain elo in the long term. So the thing is that you don't abandon a defense you like because of one drawish variation. And okay, so that's the morale of the game, in my opinion. What do you think? Okay, thank you very much for your attention. See you next time. Goodbye.